Hi everybody, I hope this finds you all well and thank you for your support and for being here. I wanted to come back on minutes after yesterday's video, but I was conflicted between doing so and catching up on the Laurie Vallow case or taking a breather from social media. I ended up watching Nate Eaton's update on the Laurie Vallow case and then going to bed and playing the quest I have been playing now for a week or more. I usually try and play for about 20 minutes every night because, yes, if you want to put Bookworm to sleep, you give her a computer game to play. Anyway, as always, I'm actually grateful that I decided to step away from the royals and wait a few hours before I open my mouth because things said in the heat of the moment are not always the right things to say, especially not on a public platform. Okay, guys and girls, so I first want to get rid of my tiny bit of anger and frustration before I launch into the revelations I was talking about yesterday and the ones I wish to share, because that in itself will take a day or two or one or two or three videos. Anyway, so, okay, as you may have heard on other channels by now, the stinking, balding, traitorous Harry has now gone and in his court filings claimed that William settled a phone hacking claim against Rupert Murdoch's UK newspapers after a secret deal struck with Buckingham Palace. Oh, I was so angry, fuming to be exact. Firstly, it is no darn secret that William settled the case. Even I, here in South Africa, knew that. Of course it was not disclosed at the time how much he settled for, but it was said that the prince will donate the money to charity. Harry, however, is now making it sound like there was something or some nefarious deal struck between NGN, the Murdoch Group, and Buckingham Palace. No, 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 no. That is utter bullshit. The case of the phone hacking was actually already decided round about 2012, thereabouts, but due to criminal charges being brought against News of the World journalists, there was a delay in final settlements. Just as a matter of interest, Catherine's phone was hacked 155 times, William's phone 35 times, and Harry's phone 9 times. Now, I'm going to break this down in simple terms. Let's say your dog dug a hole under the neighbor's fence, or a visitor to your home obscured the driveway, or your kids had a party and made a little too much noise. How do you apologize? You take a box of chocolates and a bunch of flowers and you go say you are sorry. Well, when it concerns a big business, a court case, how does the court normally punish the business who had done wrong? How does a business apologize or pay for their sins? By paying reparations, by paying a fine, or by offering a settlement. It happens all the time. Do we always get told how much the fine, the reparations, or the settlement is? No. Is it any of our business? No. Not if the money does not come from us or from our taxes. According to Harry and his lawyers, the secret deal was agreed to by the royals because Buckingham Palace wanted to avoid embarrassment and reputational damage at all costs after the publication in the 90s of details of that infamous phone call between Charles and Camilla. You guys all know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Tampon Gate. Any case, what utter rubbish. It is the biggest load of horse manure I have ever heard. The transcripts of the calls between William and Catherine were actually read in court at the time, or at least some of them. And I promise you, there was nothing nefarious or dirty in any of those calls. The worst things were things like the nicknames they called each other, setting up dates, and William making a bit of an unsolicited detour to visit Catherine, which by now we all also already know about because he landed his helicopter on her parents' front lawn. As both of them were single at the time, there was absolutely nothing scandalous about the calls themselves. The scandal was basically the fact that News of the World journalists hacked their phones at all. That is disgusting and wrong on so many levels. The contents of the calls are actually quite innocent, funny, and no state secrets were given away. For instance, in one phone call between William and Harry, William either pretended to be or got someone to pretend to be Chelsea. Then, after a minute or two, he burst out laughing. Those kind of things. Yes, it is horrendous that their phones were hacked. But 2 people went to jail for it already. Others faced criminal charges and sat through one court case after the other before being found innocent. And News of the World does not even exist anymore. What more does Harry want? What more do any of them, Elton John and the rest of them, actually want? Well, I don't know what the others want, but it is becoming very clear what Harry wants. Harry wants 3 things. He also wants a £1 million settlement, not for charity, but for all his wife's cosmetic surgeries, extensions, wigs, etc. He wants the destruction of the monarchy, and he wants to see his brother in the gutter, embarrassed and destroyed. And please, don't even try to come at me with, oh, the monarchy has survived for hundreds, nearly 1,000 years, blah, blah, blah. No, that is airy-fairy wishful thinking talk. Never before has the monarchy had a weak king and a traitorous enemy within the core family, all at the same time. And never before did the media and people in general have the type of platform on which to spread their hate and vitriol as they do now. The damage Harry is doing to the king, the future king, his brother, and the monarchy as a whole is actually intense and huge and growing by the day and ongoing. And despite Harry now drawing his brother into his mess and accusing the palace and the monarchy as a whole of striking nefarious deals with the press, his father, the current king, still wants him at the coronation, still wants to flaunt him in our faces. What is wrong with Charles? Has his new title affected his brain? Is he suffering from early onset dementia? Or is he deaf, dumb and blind? Yes, he can, as a father, go pick his son up out of the gutter the day he actually hits the gutter. But he needs to separate his job as king, monarch, sovereign from his family issues, whatever it takes, whether an act of parliament or not. The king needs to start the process. Harry cannot remain in the line of succession. The risk to England is far too great. I know the Duke of Sussex is a royal title, not a landed peerage, but it is not fair to the people of Sussex to have a duke, one not even residing in the United Kingdom, carry that title. It is not right, it is not fair, and it should no longer be tolerated. The king needs to be made to sit down and listen to someone. Harry and Meghan are not going to stop until they are made to stop. They are backed by the enemies of the monarchy and Britain, and this, my dear friends, is the truth and not a conspiracy. The other truth is that the monarchy will not collapse for no reason. If it collapses, it will do so due to a massive scandal, or more than one scandal. It will be hard, and it will be ugly, and it will be damaging to the people involved, the family and senior staff. And therefore the king needs to step up, and step up now, and do anything in his power to remove Harry from the monarchy and to separate the two, and to protect his older son, who has thus far done nothing but try to carry on and do his duty, and his daughter-in-law, who is not even a blood royal, but who has been more supportive and loyal than many of the blood royals. If Charles is not willing to protect these two people, I suggest William packs up his stunning wife and 3 children and go live a normal life. It will not be fair for him and Catherine to be dragged down by this entire sordid mess. Harry is a professional victim. It is how he makes his money now. It is how he now gets attention. And the worse it gets, the more upset and angry people are getting with his father, the king. No matter how mentally ill his son is, everyone else is entitled to protection from his mental illness. Harry and Meghan are now like a bulldozer running wild, and the only one who can stop them is the driver. And Charles is now the driver of the monarchy, and he needs to stop them. Anyway, this entire case of Harry and his mates are years too late. Incidents referred to in this case dates back to the 90s, and the latest one to the mid-2000s, I think 2009-10, thereabouts. So we are talking about 12 to 30 years ago, and we can ask this of everyone in the case. Why now? Why were you not offended, angry, outraged 9, 10, 11, 15, 20 years ago? Why did you not go to court then? Well, you can say what you want, but Elton John cannot stand King Charles. I don't care what he says in public and in interviews. It is an open secret that he does not have much time for the monarchy, and even less for Charles. So do you really want to tell me that this particular case has nothing to do with Harry and Elton John wanting to bring the monarchy down? If you want to dispute that, then I think you may be a little naive, or maybe has to reread some of the old articles on this matter and catch up on the timeline of the various aspects of the case. And I'm also asking, why can Harry point fingers at his father, at his brother? Why can Harry defame, lie, exaggerate, etc. with no repercussion? If I was Rebecca Brooks, I would have sued his ass for calling me a pestule on the arse of humanity in his book and verbally in an interview. Where are the new feminists who don't mind burning their bras, protesting in the street and shouting obscenities, but are allegedly too afraid to call out weak-minded simpleton Harry for how he treats women? It is disgusting, and I personally shall not give anyone who claims to be a feminist my time unless or until they start being fair and not only attack those who can't fight back, but attack those who deserve it. People like Henry Mountbatten Windsor Wales, whatever he will choose to call himself tomorrow, because God knows one thing he is not is a prince. No, he is the frog who will never turn back to a prince, no matter how many times his father or Netflix kisses his arse. And with that, my dear friends, I want to say goodbye to you. Please take good care of yourselves until we meet again on the next one. Bye.